Welcome back, Tolkien Fanatics, to the final part for the army review of the Fiefdoms. So I talked about the heroes and I talked about the warriors. Dang, sorry. And now I'm going to talk about how I would build a build. I don't know if I was going to build a Fiefdoms list. I'd probably be expensive, but to build a Fiefdoms list, there's a few things that I like to definitely include. So as I mentioned, I definitely take Prince Dolemroth. Wow, I'm sucking today, guys. I'm sorry. Prince Imrahil of Dolemroth. There we go. That Dolemroth there messed me up. And then I definitely take Forlong. And if I'm going to go with a third hero, then it's going to be Angbor. So I'm going to build this for, let's say, 600 points. So already about halfway there with the heroes. So kind of hurts. But I'm really thinking I don't want to have too many points sunk into mobile troops that cost a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just go with 2 Knights of Dolemroth and see if I can't go with a lot of like Axemen and Clansmen and boost my numbers. So I'm thinking 3, let's see, 2 of those guys, 4, and then 6 and 6. Okay, so that's not too bad. I know someone's probably sitting here going, well, why'd you put the Axeman over here? Well, kind of, when I build, I also have like a set number in my head of what units I actually have. And I have, I think 6 Clansmen of Lamedon and 8 Axemen or something like that. So I think getting these 6 Clansmen backed up by 2 each of Men-at-Arms. And then if I can get Imrahil nearby, like I talked about, the +1 fight bonus can give me fight 5 plus a banner reroll with these guys that are be throwing, what do you call it? I just drew a blank. Yeah, they're throwing a neg 1 because they only have the 2-handed broadsword. But if they get a nat 6, then it doesn't matter. And even if I kind of look at it as, okay, I get 4 quote-unquote dice in the fight with a banner reroll from Imrahil. So I think that's actually a pretty good, solid idea. You get yourself 6 can openers at strength 3 +1 no wound on the front line. Some guys at the back who are going to give you that banner ability and potentially having the +1 to their fight value. And then going with the Axemen, I just think drop a couple Axemen over here to go in with Imrahil's. You don't want to have an entire army that is gonna. You don't want too many -1 guys. That's how I look at it. Is so I've got 16 guys to support these 3, 6, 8 guys on my front line, and then the Axemen can turn around and support a Men-at-Arms if need be. So from here, I think I'm just gonna go see if I can't add. Okay, so I can't do that many. I can't even do that many. So I got 3 points to spare here. I don't know. I think I might want to get more than 4 bow shots in the list. So we'll go ahead and drop. Yeah, that seems good. Drop 2 Men-at-Arms. Gets me 6 bow shots. And then I'll go ahead and do the smart thing and maximize my points. You always want to maximize your points. If you can give a guy a spear, give a guy a spear. And stuff like that. So this is a pretty solid looking list, in my opinion, at 600. 33 models is nothing to laugh at. You're talking about a guy who's got, in Prince Imrahil, again, that strength 4 with the lance, defense 7. He's got 3s in the right spot. Forlong, he's strength 5 with +1 to wound because of the war spear. Brings 3 points of might. That's his biggest helper. And then Angbor is going to be, 2 might, but 8 might and 8 at 600 points. Not too bad. I think that's worth taking and going with there. Not too awful. And then you've got yourself 4 mounted troops. So if there's objectives in play, you can go grab objectives. Looking at army bonuses, Prince Imrahil is going to be a banner for everybody, including himself. And then you've got plenty of Men-at-Arms here. You've got 14 Men-at-Arms and 2 Knights of Dolemroth to get that +1 fight value bonus in there that we've talked about. That'll be great because then you can get some fight value 5 guys in and kind of beat the meta, which is fight value 4. Forlong is going to give you that 6-inch bubble of free fainting. So, keep him near these Clansmen, and make sure you're supporting these Clansmen. But keep him near the Clansmen and he can go ahead and not only are you going to get +1 to wound, but you're going to reroll 1s to wound as well. And then finally you have Angbor, who is the Fearless and gives you that 6-inch terror or Fearless bubble, which is great for countering terror models and terror armies. So definitely a lot of synergy here. I think, let's see, from 600 to 700, this is where people start going, okay, should I take that 4th hero? I think from 6 to 700, go ahead and grab Dunhir. Yeah, I know I said he's not like my favorite hero, but let's see. We throw 6 guys over here with spears. Okay, so 661. Then I can go ahead and buff this number back up. Okay, that's a couple too many. So I still have 3 points to play with here. Not really anything I can see. I can maybe take the spears away from these guys and go with another model. So not a bad idea. And then I can go ahead and buff one guy with a spear. So there we go. Let's say, what the heck? Why doesn't it do it? So 39 units, 700 points. You're going to have 8 guys taking bow shots, doing that janky little reroll thing with the heroic shoot. Heroic shoot, so reroll failed wounds. Plus, if they don't move, they get to reroll 1s to hit. So, yeah, that's a lot of points that you're sinking in there. 48 and 9 is 57 plus 60 is 117 points. Are they going to make up 117 points? Not a chance in hell. There really isn't a way for these archers to make up that much unless you're playing a scenario like to the death and maybe reconnoiter these long movement drawn out ones, maybe storm the camp, but even then your odds of making that up is still pretty low. But having those bow shots where you can just be like, all right, 8 bow shots all a hero who's mounted, and having the ability to reroll failed wounds and maybe taking mounted hero off their horse, that's really, really good. That's definitely something to look at. All right, so from 700 going up to 800, and this is where it's going to change a little bit for me. I actually will switch off from Dunhir and go ahead and take the captain, who's a little bit more expensive at 85 points. Let's go ahead and spread this out a little bit more. Let's go with 2 archers per war bands for a total of 8. I got 3, 3, 6 there, so we'll just go with 4 and 2 again, and see if we can't add another mount. Actually, we'll add 2 more mounted guys. Yeah, we'll put him in his warband. And how about 4 and 2? Not even close. Okay, I can drop a ranger. There we go. So there's another look at what you could do. So that's 800 points. And this is just pure fiefdoms. And so you can decide on your own whether you think that having Dunhir over the captain is worth it. I personally think for the 25 points more, the 2 points of might you're going to have with him is going to be a lot more valuable at 800 points than Dunhir, because you're going to be looking at wanting to march. You're going to be looking at wanting to use him in combination with Prince Imrahil, to use the captain's might points to do heroic combats with Imrahil, to do some slingshotting maneuvers with these other 2 or 4 mounted guys. So you're talking about 6 mounted heroes, 7 mounted troops, 3 of them being heroes, 4 being units, and then I usually kind of keep the knights next to the captain and Imrahil to kind of, feed off each other. Get Imrahil and the captain in one fight, and then kind of send both of them into combats with these other guys to make sure you get those guaranteed kills. Losing these expensive mounted units really, really hurts, so you want to be careful with how you use them. Again, this is just kind of how I would look at doing it. So kind of low on bow shots. Folks might be looking at this going, 7 bow shots. Their big thing is like, Dunhir, come on, what's wrong with you? Again, while I appreciate that shooting, especially with Dunhir, can do some damage, in my experience, a lot of times you just don't make the points up. Now, if you're going to buff this from 800 to 1,000, because my upcoming event that I'm running is 1,000 points, I absolutely recommend going ahead and taking all 5 heroes and going from there. So let's just do that just for shits and giggles and see kind of what we would be looking at. So Dunhir is going to be my 5th warband. let's go ahead and give him 10 guys. Just see where that puts us. So we're at 884 points. Not bad. That's 160 points in archery. I'm sorry, 140 points in archery. Excuse me. I think at this point I want to go ahead and try and boost my numbers. So see if we can't throw an extra guy on the side here. Not bad. That looks pretty good. And then let's go ahead and get another mounted guy or two in. Yeah, so 976. You're still looking pretty darn good there. If you wanted to, we could go ahead and max this out. Yeah, you could add another archer somewhere, but I don't see them really being all that great. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll max it out and then say throw another guy here. Actually, we want to put it with Imberhill. So, yeah, you're looking at 1,000 points here. If you're just playing straight pure fiefdoms, having 60 models at 1,000 points with 13 bow shots, again, heavy investment, 156 points. It pays off and it doesn't. I've played seven games at 1,000 points of pure fiefdoms, and I actually did for 9 games at 1,000 points of pure fiefdoms, and I found that in my first 4 games I played an event that Dunhir, while good, once you use these 2 points of might, you've just basically got 13 troops that run around and support where they can. And against terror armies, they have a hard time getting into combat. Maybe that's something where it's like, okay, maybe I drop a guy, give these guys all spears. So let's go ahead and do the smart thing and just say we drop this boy up here. That gives me 8 more points, and then I can go ahead and add another clansman there and still maintain 60 models. And now I've got spears on all my guys, so they could go get into the fray and spear support, where I could have those higher courage models get in. Now, the reason I'm talking about them getting in against terror is because with the 6-inch range, you're only going to be able to get so many guys into base contact. I mean, you're looking at this right here. You're talking 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 guys for front line being supported by 6, 12, 18, 24 men at arms. You're not going to get to stack the 2-to-1, too deep like you would like to for a full pike block, but that's not the worst thing in the world, These axemen of Lost Narnak can go ahead and kind of hold a flank on their own if they need be. Try and get them fighting on their own. Have them support each other. They're still going to get the banner reroll since this is a pure army, and Prince Imberhill is going to give them that banner reroll. So that's just kind of a way to look at them. Straight up. Now, they do have a couple really good green allies. I'll go ahead and clear the board real quick. Oh, missed it. All right, so they do have 2 really good green allies. The first one being Ministereth. So Ministereth is one where sometimes what I'll do is ally in like Boromir, Captain of the White Tower, and then just get a whole bunch of cheap warriors in Ministereth at 8 points, and then have Imberhill leading men at arms of Dol Amroth, and there you go. Now you've got a 17-point, shield and spear wall, shield and pike wall if you want. And the other thing that's great about having Ministereth is now you've got much cheaper cav units. They're not as heavy because they're not a heavy cav unit. They don't have the armored horses. But that makes them 6 point, and they're not fight 4, and they don't have the special rule where they're going to get to fight 5. So they're technically they're not an armored cav because the warriors are they're not heavy cav because the warriors are defense 6 with a shield. So you're talking about 14 points for some cheaper cavalry. Can still hit just as hard. You just have to find a way to support them or make sure that they get into a fight where they're not outnumbered, and throwing a 6 is their opponent throwing a 6 and trying to kill them is less likely to happen. You got a better chance with a knight going in against a fight 4 guy who's got 1 dice, and if you charge in, you've got 2 dice. You got a better chance of winning that. So the other green ally they have is Rohan, and Rohan is a huge one. I used to ally with fiefdoms as well. I actually had a combo that I took 3rd place with Was it third place? Yes, I think it was third place at an event, and it was Ministereth, Fiefdoms, and Rohan. And I actually used to make the mistake of calling it Gondor Fiefdoms Rohan, but it's not. It's Ministereth Fiefdoms Rohan. And this was before the current FAQs that have changed it, but I would take Dernhelm, who with, 3 points of might, 3 points of will, and 4 points of fate between Mary and Eowyn, and then I can lead 6 riders of Rohan. It gives you some light cav, and that would be what my entire cav contingent was. I would still take Imrahil, and I would actually take wrong one. Boromir, Captain of the White Tower, and give him the flag, so he's fight 7. Yeah, you lose the lance bonus, but he still does have heroic strength, which is great. So if you can get, like Dernhelm and Boromir together, he's fight 7. Ooh, excuse me. Have him do a heroic strength. He can get up to strength 7 from his base 4. Not a bad way to look at it. I did pretty good with that list at 800 points. I can't remember the exact composition, so please don't ask. But again, it was pre-current FAQs where you had to have a hero fortitude for green allies. But I took 4th place at Ringo South in 2019, and honestly, if I had even scored 1 VP to win my final game, because my final game I ended up tying, and if I had been able to score a single VP, I would have ended up in 3rd place. And if I had scored enough to be a major victory, I probably would have actually taken 2nd. But that is Fiefdoms. You've got 3 really good allies, or 2 really good green allies that you can use. I think personally the best way to ally them together now is with Ministereth and the Fiefdoms. This is a trick that some people don't realize, and you can actually do it, is the Fiefdoms guys all have the Ministereth keyword, which means if you take Ministereth, you can take Huron the Tall here, and he's a Valor, and Huron the Tall's special ability is that if your leader has the Gondor keyword, I think it's Gondor keyword, not Ministereth, I'm sorry, has the Gondor keyword, then you nullify, VPs for your leader being killed. Basically, you're nullifying killed leader VPs. So if you do that, and I've done it a few times, and it means you can kind of keep Huron back, keep him on a side flank away from other big heroes, have him just munch 1 or 2 or 3 troops per turn. You can go ahead and then sling Imrahil in like a ballistic missile and just have him go wreck the heck out of stuff without hopefully him dying in the first turn, which is usually what happens to me. But if it doesn't happen that way, then you have the ability to really get some stuff done in there. And if you lose Imrahil, well, just protect Huron, and you're not giving up those 2 or 3 leader VPs for the kill to your enemy, which is pretty cool. So that is everything I can think of for Fiefdoms. Again, one of my favorite armies, and I definitely might break it out here for a practice game next weekend when everybody comes over to do. Well, I've got a few guys coming over Friday before the Great Battle of Carolinas, or the Battle of Great Armies. I'm sorry, Battle of Great Armies, and we're gonna do some games and chill and all that. And I'm gonna try and get a battle report in, or 1 or 2 in. So maybe I'll break out Fiefdoms. Maybe I'll get 1,000-point Fiefdoms list and see how that goes. But until next time, guys, please thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what army you want to see. That helps me out. Let me know any corrections or any tips, hints that you can think of that I didn't talk about. And as always, enjoy your Tolkien Legendaria.